Mr. Zev Siegl, very pleasant to have you here.
It's an honor. Thank you.
An honor, it's our honor. Thank you so much. Mr. Siegl, what factors explain, many factors explain the success of Starbucks?
Well, the success of Starbucks is something that I thought about a lot. My partners and I didn't really understand those factors when we were young men starting the company. But looking back, now I understand them because I have met so many entrepreneurs. There were three of us, not one of us. There were three of us, and we were good. Each one of us was good at something different, which is very useful. So you have a lot of talent. We were in the right business. We liked the coffee business. We thought it was very exotic, but we quickly came to understand that it can also be profitable. And when you're starting a business, you don't want to lose money. And the coffee business is profitable at several different levels, roasting, retailing, making coffee beverages. And that's why you see so many coffee bars in every city, in Mexico City too.
Exactly.
Because they're staying profitable. And we also had a fabulous team of people. We were on a mission. We wanted to introduce good coffee to our friends and neighbors and to the city of Seattle. And we succeeded in doing that. But one of the reasons we succeeded is because everybody in the company was looking in the same direction. We were all trying to do the same thing. The company had real spirit. So I think those are three of the many factors that helped us succeed. It didn't hurt us that coffee has been around for 400 years. We didn't have to invent coffee.
Were the same strategies for each to develop quarter-mine coffee roaster or peerless pie, bottle up?
These are
same as Starbucks?
These are other companies that I started. Yes, I would say that there is some overlap. Quarter-Main Coffee Roasters, which still exists in Washington, D.C. In the United States. Yeah, it's still there. Okay. Was based on my success with Starbucks. And we tried to replicate it. And the company survived. Peerless Pie was replicated, was based on one aspect of Starbucks, the idea of having a central production facility. For Starbucks, it's a coffee roasting plant. For Peerless Pie, it was a bakery. A central bakery. And then you have retail stores.
Great.
And that's a pretty good formula for a business. So there was some carryover among those companies.
In your point of view, which one is the biggest challenge for get the success for you?
I would say that the biggest challenge for success in business really is a knowledge of business finance. I see this all the time. There are lots of wonderful young entrepreneurs, men and women, who are really good at something, really good. But they don't understand the financial side of the business. You can always tell these people because they wave their arms all the time. I'm going to do this, it's going to be fabulous. The arms are always going. and they're not Italian. Italians do this too. But the situation gets out of hand if they're not knowledgeable about the numbers, I would like to call it, the numbers. Can they predict what their sales are going to be? Can they make sure they have enough money in the bank so they don't run out of money and then can't pay their employees? The numbers are what separates many of the failures from the successes.
Exactly. Because too many people think about his own business. Tomorrow, maybe next month, I'll be coming work,
Oh, I see that quite.
In a short time.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because we all read about these companies that are successful. In 1 year, they're doing $1 billion in business on the internet. There are very, very few companies that achieve that. With a tiny number. The normal sequence is that the business struggles to get going, then it struggles some more as it begins to deal with its customers, and then finally, if things go well, they start to make a profit.
To make a profit between a couple years before?
Well, in the beginning, frequently the companies lose money, which is okay as long as you have money in the bank to pay for that.
And you're prepared for that?
Yeah,
Yes.
and that is why we frequently see investors investing in early stage companies, is to make sure that they survive. Yeah, it's very tough. And you know, one of the things that I deal with when I do mentoring with young entrepreneurs is they believe that it's going to be easy and that they're going to have a new car next year. And that's just not the case.
No.
They're going to be driving the old car next year.
Okay, okay, that's great. So, Mr. Zev, do you used to drink coffee?
Yeah, yeah, I did. My mother and father really cared about coffee. This is in the 1950s and 1960s. And so when I was growing up, there was a lot of attention to coffee. I really, kind of fell under the spell of coffee because it's so exotic and so interesting. It's grown around the world. It's in Indonesia and Africa. The situations in those countries are different. There's coffee grown in Mexico, very good coffee. It's very easy to just become involved in the romance of it. And that really affected me.
And as you said, you went never going for a new idea. You are not.
Coffee was not. Yeah, the coffee is not a new idea, but when my partners and I were thinking about starting a coffee company, that was 1970. Coffee in the United States, in Los Estados Unidos, was terrible. It was really bad, and I mean, you couldn't sell coffee like that today. Nobody would buy it. And so it was easy for us when we showed people fresh roasted coffee made from really good coffee beans. They could tell the difference immediately. And that's happening in Mexico and all over the world because you have young people starting coffee companies. They try to do the best they can with producing great coffee, high quality beverages also. And when people taste it, they say, "This is coffee? What have I been drinking? This is so much better." And so you can tell, and
there's a lot of issues involved in a good cup of coffee. The quality of water, temperature, the mixing, the blend, every factor.
Yeah, to encounter that, I recommend that people go to what's called a third wave coffee bar. Third wave coffee, these are coffee companies started by people in their 20s mostly. An example, there are many examples here. The one that comes to mind right now is Café Buna. And Buna, when you go in there, if you say, "Can you tell me about this coffee?" they will talk to you until your ears hurt because they're so passionate about it. They want to tell you all about how it was roasted and where the beans came from and how they brewed it and how many grams of coffee they used.
Exactly.
And the passion is contagious. You listen to that and you think, "Wow, I better pay more attention to my coffee." And that's happening everywhere in the world, especially here in Mexico City, by the way.
We are very glad and we appreciate your idea. You're successful all around the world, and we have here in Mexico and here with us, Mr. Zev Siegl.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much